and welcome back to another video. Would you believe this is my 20th video? Isn't that crazy? Time flies. As you can see, I am in my room again because you guys loved the vlog last time. I got so much engagement. Everyone kept sending me messages saying do another vlog. So I'm gonna give the people what they want and do another vlog. And in today's vlog, I'm going to be drawing pages 3 and 4 of my book and also answering a couple of questions from you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some questions. And the first one is, how much would you charge to illustrate someone's book? Now I get this question probably more than any other questions. I get a lot of emails about what my pricing is and what I charge to illustrate children's books. And this is a very difficult question to answer in general because it really depends on the type of book you want to make, how long it is, how many illustrations you want. I charge based on how long it takes me to do something. So if it takes me like an hour to get an illustration out, or it takes me like 2 days to get one illustration out, that will determine how much I charge. So it's not really based on the amount of detail or anything, just how long it would take me. In some styles I can do really quick, in some styles I can't. It takes me a lot longer. So it really depends, and it depends if you want me to also format your book. It's really hard to give a general answer to that. So if you want to know how much I would charge for your book specifically, you can email me and I'll let you know. Message me on Instagram. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is, in 3 words, how would you describe your style as a children's book illustrator? So for my own personal books, I'm trying to get better at having a consistent style because I do want to have a look that is identifiable, you know, and I want you to be able to see me, like my personality in all my books. However, I think that some books require different styles and different techniques, so then your style does have to change a little bit. Like for Brooklyn's Big Adventure, that is kind of my style, but for this next book that I'm doing, I want this to be more representative of my personal style and what I would kind of like my characters and my scenes and everything to look like going forward. But that can always change. Like I have so many different ideas for books, and I know with every book it'll be a little bit different. But at the same time, I'm keeping key elements of like what I think makes my style unique. Like I do a lot of like cross hatching, a lot of like little fine details to give the picture texture, and that's just been like my like signature look. And I found that a lot of people also like that look and they ask for it in their own like books that they want me to illustrate. So that's one thing that I try to keep the same. I'm forgetting the question. Is it 3 words? Okay, sorry. 3 words. I would say cozy would be my first. Autumnal, and I think even when I'm drawing books that are about the spring or like summer or whatever, I think there is still a way to keep, you know, the style autumnal by like the colors that you use, the imagery. It'll make sense in this new circus book. It'll make sense because it's during the summer, yet I think it looks autumnal, if that makes sense. Anyway, and the 3rd word being nostalgic. I think because I do digital illustration, I don't like my work to look digitally illustrated. I want it to look very hand-drawn and organic. And when you see stuff like that, it usually gives you like that feeling of nostalgia, like of books you used to read when you were younger, because those were probably all hand painted and hand drawn. So yeah, cozy, autumnal, and nostalgic. Those would be my 3. Okay, next one. Where do you get your inspo? I get my inspo mostly from Pinterest. I kind of use it as a tool for when I already have an idea in my head. I just try to find things that look like that, like examples for that. But in terms of like generally where I get ideas for books or where I get ideas for compositions, it's usually from books that I have already read. So I go to the library a lot and I really try to see what kind of books are out there right now. And it's really nice because every single book has its own unique style and like its own unique way of writing and formatting. And so I really look to those books to kind of like determine what I'm into next and what I can include. Like for example, the circus book was really inspired by this book. And the idea of it, even though I had an idea to do a circus book before, kind of seeing the way that it's executed in this book, that was like a huge inspiration for me. So yeah, my biggest inspiration is just other people's children's books. Okay, next question. I realize that I'm not actually drawing yet, but let's just do the Q&A while I draw. Okay, next question. If you would design clothing, what would it look like? Ooh, I've never thought about this before. If I were to design clothing, I think obviously it would be a lot of knitwear because I am trying to like corner that autumnal market, and that's my favorite clothing to wear, is more like winter and fall clothing, something a lot warmer, which unfortunately I don't get to wear because of the climate that I live in. But I would do a lot of like knitwear, a lot of scarves, hats. I think my biggest inspiration for, I guess, clothing design would be whatever I wore in elementary school. A lot of that clothing, the style I still kind of wear now in the fall, and everything to me is nostalgia, so I think I would just create designs that remind you of when, you know, you were like probably your happiest and your most innocent. That's the kind of style that I would design if I could design clothing, which is really hard. I watch people do it on YouTube all the time, and oh my god, merch in itself is like a whole different thing, but it's fun, and I would love to be able to do that one day if I could. Okay, next question. What is your next big project? So obviously the circus book is the next big one. That's going to be a book that I am not only going to try to self-publish myself, but I'm going to try to sell it to other people, other publishing companies. I'm trying to get it to reach a broader audience and maybe be sold in stores one day. I love self-publishing, but I think my goal is to really be signed to an agency. I think maybe I don't really know what that means yet right now, but like little like dreamer in me from when I was, I don't know, like a kid, is always wanted to be legit and be part of a publishing company and like see my books in stores, and so I would love to do that. So that's what this book will be. I'll try to attempt it, and I will document that journey of how I try to sell my book to publishers. But the project after this, so I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead. I am always 10 steps ahead. Like, I am always thinking about the next project after the next project, because I don't know, I get bored really easily, and I get like, once I'm done with something, I'm like, okay, it's done, it's over, let's move on to the next thing. So the book after this, besides the book I'm working on for my client, the next big project I want to do is going to be about the Baroque era, the Baroque and the Rococo era. I really want to do a book about that so bad, and I have a lot of other kind of craft projects to go around that as well. So a part of me is like, I'm in the circus mode, but I'm also dreaming about doing that like Baroque passion project. But after that, I do want to make a graphic novel and or like a webtoon. So I have many projects in the future, but let me just get through this one first and see how it does, and then I'll move on to the next one. But yeah, okay, I actually have to like focus and start drawing. Okay, next question. How do I start freelancing as a new artist? Okay, so I have been freelancing for quite a few years now, and I really love freelancing, but it just took me a really long time to figure out my process and how to do it and what I'm comfortable with, what kind of jobs I'm comfortable with taking. And I'm gonna be honest, I've had a lot of jobs that I really hated doing, and I really wish that I didn't take because of just how much of a headache they were to do. But you know, it's all like learning and growth and whatever. And I'm just like really grateful that I've come to a point in my life where I don't necessarily have to take jobs that I absolutely hate. In fact, I only really take jobs that I know that I will enjoy and I know that will actually benefit me as an artist, opposed to just taking jobs because I need the money. But like, I promise you, in the future, I will absolutely make a full-length video of how to market yourself, how to find clients, how to find work. I've been freelancing for over 5 years now, and it's just been, it's so fun when it's good, and then it's so horrible when it's not. I shouldn't say horrible, but it's just, it could be good, it could be bad. Like with any job, there's ups and downs to it, but I've been really fortunate to have really good projects that I've worked on and that I'm continuing to work on, thanks to people who like my art. So I will make a future video of it, I promise, but yeah. Okay, so I'm answering questions right now. I'm forgetting I actually have to draw. For this page specifically, here is my little inspiration pictures from Pinterest. I want it to be really warm, really cozy, a little bit like this kind of hazy dream-like place that the children go into, and you can't really tell if it's real, if it's not real, that kind of like warmth. That's what I'm looking for. So we'll add all the lighting details after. Let me just put down all of the basic shapes first. Okay. So this is page 3. So basically I'm going to draw the whole tent, all the backgrounds. Like in my last video, I said I do all of the basic shapes first and I don't put any shadows. Well, I put some contrast, but not too many shadows. And then I go back in after and then add the shadows. And this is what it's really supposed to look like. All of the animals. So I think I can knock this page out today. And then tomorrow I can do page 4. So let me lock in and actually focus to get this done. And then I can come back and answer some more questions. So I'm 50% done with page 3. I decided to stop and continue it tomorrow because I'm tired and my hand is cramped and I don't want to do anymore. So tomorrow I'm going to finish the animals. I'm going to add more detail to the background. I also have to go to the library tomorrow to return my books because they're almost late. And I will vlog that too, get some more books, and finish page 3. And then maybe like Wednesday or Thursday I could start on page 4. But so far I did it really fast, so I'm kind of like I'm confident that I could get it done before the week's over. But yeah, so far it looks so good. So I will see you tomorrow when I'm at the library. So I actually didn't go to the library the next day. I went to TJ Maxx instead, and then I went to Chick-fil-A and I got a chicken sandwich and it was really, really good. And after I ate it, I didn't feel like doing any work or anything related to sitting up, so I just took a nap. It is the next day and I got a little present in the mail. I'm actually going to Georgia next week. I'm going to stay in a cabin with a couple of friends and I'm going to go horseback riding and hiking and all this kind of like outdoorsy stuff. We will see how I will do out there. I'm not an outdoorsy girl. I don't do outside, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So in preparation for that, I bought myself a little present. I bought myself cowboy boots. I bought myself a pair of cowboy boots on Amazon, and oh my gosh, I've never owned a pair of boots in my life. So let's see how this looks. Look at them. Oh my gosh. These are so cute. Okay, I'm gonna try them on. Hold on. He can't even bait a hook. They are so cute. I'm so in love with that. They're so cute. They're so cute. I am so excited to wear these one. I'm riding a horse. This ain't Texas. This is so cute. I love these. My first pair of cowboy boots. They're really comfortable, surprisingly. So I'm going to be wearing these like every day until I go. This is going to be my first time riding a horse. So I'm nervous but excited. I feel like I'll be good. I don't know why I think that. And by the time that you are seeing this video, I'll probably already be there. So my video after that will be another vlog. I'll do a little like cabin vlog for you since y'all love vlogs so much. Yeah, but I'm really excited. This weekend I have to go and get some more stuff, like more supplies for like hiking. That'll be this weekend. And yeah, so I'm really happy. I love when I get a little present from myself in the mail. It's like the best part of the day. Now I have to work. I have to finish page 3, and I think I'm gonna work on some like more content. I'm probably gonna record a voiceover for TikTok. That'll be my day. Today's a pretty light day. Okay, the next question is, I'm super inspired by your self-publishing journey. Is it going well for you? Well, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Is it going well for me? Yes. I would have to say it is. I am getting a lot of exposure into this world of children's publishing and like self-publishing. I'm learning so much every day. I think one of the biggest things I'm learning is that everyone wants to publish a children's book for some reason. I thought it was just me or like a select few, but even people who don't have kids want to publish a children's book. Even people who like have no interest in children's books themselves, like they don't read it, they don't consume it, want to publish a children's book. I think it's just something that everyone wants to try, you know, and finds joy in, which I think is really, really cool and really beautiful, that now we have the opportunity because of like a lot of these companies and a lot of like, you know, technology that allows us to just print whatever stories and ideas we have. And I think it's so cool that there are so many artists online now where you can just reach out to them and they can help you create this vision you have for a project you're really, really passionate about. So I think it's really cool, and that's what I've learned the most about it. So to answer the question, is it going well? To me, yes, it is. For my standards, it's going pretty well and it's really exciting, and I'm getting different offers from people who have wrote their own book or who are looking to get into, you know, illustrating themselves, and it's just been really fun and exciting, and I'm really loving the projects that I'm working on, not just my own personal, but the ones I am for other people. So I would say it's going pretty good. It's going a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought it would take a lot longer, and I really would say the help of YouTube, making videos and putting it online has really, really helped, because I've been able to reach an audience that I definitely would not have just being on Instagram or just posting my art on Twitter. So yeah. I hope that answers the question. Okay, who is your favorite children's book author slash illustrator? So my personal favorite author is Arnold Stark Lebel. You probably know him from his Frog and Toad series. I grew up with that book and it means so much to me. I think it just embodies a certain level of quaintness that I really, really strive to have in my own work one day, in my own writing. And he's really timeless. Like, a lot of his work is just so timeless, and it just brings me back to, you know, times where I was a budding reader and I was learning, you know, how to develop my reading skills. I had a really hard time not to get like deep, but I did have a really hard time growing up when it came to reading and writing. I had like not a lot, but I had some learning issues. Like, I had to be in special reading classes. My grades were not good. I was definitely a lot slower than other students. I attribute this to probably being a little bit dyslexic, and I just wasn't tested for it, and like my parents probably didn't realize it. And only as an adult now I'm realizing that's probably was the issue. That's why my grades were so poor, and that's what really took a lot of time for me to catch up to everybody else in my grade. But I remember going to the library and being very drawn to all of the picture books. And I remember like my teachers would tell me like, you cannot keep picking picture books, so you have to get into this reading level. And I just hated that, because my reading level for that age was like, there was no pictures, you know, it was just all words, and that really discouraged me from reading. And I remember like I hated going to the library at that point because I couldn't pick out the books I wanted.
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted, and then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend.
So Frog and Toad reminds me of like the last time I was able to get books from the library that I really liked and enjoyed and felt comfortable reading. Why did I tell that story? Oh yeah, because he is my favorite author. For that reason, it's just nostalgic for me. When it comes to illustrators, I have so many favorite illustrators, but it's really hard to like pinpoint which ones are my exact favorite. So I think the ones that I pull from right now in my career would be David Shannon, for one. He is like the OG author and illustrator. He wrote No David, A Bad Case of Stripes. I think I borrowed that book from the library in my other vlog. And like, I just love the level of like detail and charisma. A lot of the images from those books stick in my mind still, so that just goes to show you like how good of an artist he is. Another one that's kind of like a deeper cut is Brett Hellquist. You probably have seen his work in A Series of Unfortunate Events. This book, it was so influential for me when I was probably like 10 or 11. There aren't a whole lot of illustrations in that book, but for the couple pages that there are, I just really fell in love with the style. And I would say his style more than anything is a huge influence in my work today. Like, I don't know how to describe his work. It's kind of just like this eerie, kind of creepy, very exaggerated features and emotions. I just love that kind of look, and I'm really trying to get my work to look like that. So I actually have an idea for a graphic novel in the future that I do want to kind of look more, you know, like that work, very like him inspired. Those are my like top 2 favorite illustrators for children's books, and just kind of like illustrators of like of all time. Okay, so I have to go back to work now. Okay. So as a surprise to absolutely no one, I don't think I'll be able to finish page 4 of the spread. I might only be able to do just this one, only because I feel like it's missing a lot of detail in it right now. I want each animal's costume to have a lot of detail, kind of like how the elephant is, if you see it, kind of like how that is. But it is taking me a while, and the way that my schedule is looking for this week, I don't think I'll have time, because the other page after this is kind of like the same thing with all the animals again, but just at like a different angle. I don't think I have that time. I don't have that time. So in this video, you'll probably only see me do one. Maybe on the weekend I will have time to do another one. Doubt it. Also don't want to. Also don't feel like it. But I think one's okay. If we get one done, that'll be good. Thank God I don't have a deadline. Isn't that great that I don't have a deadline, so I can just do things whenever? Love that. So I'm going to take my time with this one, put as much detail in it as possible, because I still have client work to do. I still have a lot of things to do. Yeah, just keeping you updated. Okay. So right now I have to record a voiceover for a TikTok/reel that I have to post this week. And this has to be one of my least favorite parts about editing, is doing the voiceovers. Not because I don't like the sound of my voice. In fact, when I hear it, I don't register it as me, if that makes sense. I used to really hate my voice, and I think making videos and constantly having to hear myself has kind of like made me disassociate from it, where I don't hate it, but also I don't think it's my voice. Also, I have this weird thing where I watch videos of myself and it's as if like it's a stranger. Does that make sense? Does anyone else feel that way? Because when I watch myself online, I don't register it as me. Like, to me, that is a different person. Like, I could watch it like how you're watching me right now and be like, oh, that's a different person talking. That's how I see myself when I am on screen. So it's the same thing for my voice. Like, it's not my voice, it's someone else's voice who's kinda sounds like me but isn't me. I don't know if it's like a weird persona thing. But anyway, I really hate this part of editing because I don't script it. I kind of just watch the video and then make it up as I go along. That's why you'll probably hear in a lot of my voiceovers, I don't know what I'm saying. It's just rambling. I don't enunciate properly, like very Ariana Grande mumble. Yeah. Like, I need to really work on that and be better at that. Also, I'm always nervous for some reason. I always feel like there's a timer, and I am, like, even right now, I'm like nervous because I want to make sure I'm saying things properly. And I'm obviously not scripting anything, so it's gonna come out nervous and sped up and too fast. I know I'm a naturally fast talker and I do not enunciate, and I always sound like I have peanut butter in my mouth. So yeah, that is what I have to do today. So I'm not loving it, not loving the journey right now, but hopefully I only have one video to do, so hopefully I can get that done very quickly and then move on with my life. Okay, so it is now the next day. I woke up, I worked, I went to the library, and I got a ton of books. Oh my goodness. Usually I try to get like maybe 5 or 6. I got 10. I got 10 this time, which is, I think, way too much. I didn't need 10. But I'm going to show you the kind of books that I get currently. My library for some reason doesn't have a whole lot of circus books. I don't know if that's because like circus books are not really that popular of a genre, or if I'm just not looking hard enough. So the kind of books that I look for right now are mostly just things that I like the style that I like. And one thing I've noticed in a lot of these books are these little, I think, summaries. I'm sure they have a more technical name, but these little summaries that you see in the front of the book right before you get into the story, that kind of summarizes the whole thing. Because my book is going to be on websites that don't really provide like that dust cover, like this plastic dust cover, I don't really know where I would write that. Maybe I could try to write it on the inside and do like a little fake one. Also, in the back of books, they usually have like little summaries of the author and the illustrator. So I do want to include that because I think that's cute and fun, but I don't think I'll be able to put it on a slipcover. I'll probably have to put it in the actual book. One thing that I also try to look for in a lot of these books are the different ways that they share information, or the different ways that they put in information. A lot of books that are about, let's say, cultural narratives or historical events or landmarks, they'll have in the back of the book like this author note that kind of explains more in depth about the subject of the book. So anything that they didn't include in the actual book because for whatever reason it didn't belong, or maybe it's just more complex information, they include that in the back. I am thinking about doing this because as much as I love the concept of a circus, we have to remember there are a lot of things that aren't really that great about traditional circuses, and I touched on this kind of in my circus history video about like the cruelty towards animals and also like workers, and also the very dark history behind circuses. So I do kind of want to touch on that because as much as I do love writing a book about circuses and writing about a subject that I really love and care about, I don't necessarily want people to go to the kind of circuses that I am depicting in my book, because my book has animals performing, and I want the author's note to kind of be a little informative, like, yes, this is really fun and cool to look at in a book form, but don't actually support these places, don't actually go and give your money to these businesses that have real live animals performing. So I kind of want to include that. I have to figure out how I would word that, also how much information I want to put in the back of the book. So like borrowing books from the library has really helped me kind of figure out what other people are doing. Also, it's nice to know that not every single book has the same kind of layout, has the same kind of structure. Yeah, so that being said, I do have the last stages of my drawing to do, and then I'll be done. Like I said, I have to add lighting, I have to add more details to the background, and also finish drawing a couple more animals, and then I will be done. So let me get into that now. It is lighting time now. So I have drawn and colored everything. I put in all the detail that I need. Now we can go in and do my favorite part, highlights and shadows. Like I said before, did I say it before? I don't remember. But I do want this to be very warm. I want the shadows and contrast to be very dramatic. I want there to be a little bit of haze, so we're gonna do that halation effect. Remember that one? We're gonna do that as well. This image that you see here, yep, that's what I'm up to right now, will look drastically different after we do all the lighting and shadow. So let me start doing that. It looks like we are finally done. Here is my final illustration. I really love how it turned out. It might be a little too yellow, so I might have to go back and change the colors a little bit more. I don't know if I'm loving the color scheme, but in terms of like detailing and layout, I really like it. I'm very proud of it. Hopefully I can get page 4 done, probably like sometime next week before I leave for my cabin trip. Yeah, so that is it for this vlog today. I hope you all enjoyed. My next video, I will be doing another vlog. Like I said, I'm gonna do my cabin vlog, and that'll be really fun. And after that, then I'll just do the rest of my book. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on social media. And that is it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
When you feel down and out, so down the street and have your picture done.